Hi, I'm Steve Parker, the founder of Gravito Digital. I provide website and application development and digital marketing services. I call myself a light speed developer because I focus on lightweight code to create high-performing websites and apps that really drive results. Essentially, I help my clients unlock their website's full potential. I'm able to produce sites that are reliable, low cost, lightning fast, and deliver memorable user experiences. They're also flexible, constructed of reusable components, and I'm able to integrate a myriad of powerful online services. Oh, and essentially they are hack-free and scale effortlessly. I'm very fortunate to call this my 4th year in business, and while I work closely with the WRI Seminars team to assist with their conferences, I'm available to take on 1 or 2 more projects this year. I'm also an AI enthusiast, and I manage an app I built for Midjourney AI image creation called Midjourney Prompt Manager. And I'm also a YouTuber. My channel is all about helping remote solopreneurs learn about light speed technologies while working abroad. Let's start with highlights of the case study for the WRI 2024 website redesign. I'm going to go through a lot of material, but I'm going to do this very quickly. And I have chapters below if you'd like to skip ahead. The big news is that the team and I were able to increase the technology events website traffic by 12%, conversions by 22.5%, and attendance by 30%. We broke records for 3 events. The technology that helped to do this is called Jamstack, and it helps my clients to really improve their KPIs and push revenue and growth. Jamstack is a term coined by Matt Bielman, CEO of Netlify, the popular CDN/edge provider. The Jam in Jamstack stands for JavaScript, APIs, and Markdown. But what's important to remember is that this technology produces phenomenal performance scores, like these Google Lighthouse scores you see here, which help enormously with search engine visibility and also help deliver great user experiences. Jamstack's architecture improves key website performance factors such as page speed. Faster load times directly impact user retention and engagement. SEO and visibility. Google prioritizes high-speed websites, improving their rankings. And accessibility and scalability. Seamless experience is really required nowadays across all devices without server dependencies. And also security and maintainability. Jamstack has a reduced attack surface, which significantly lowers risk. Traditional websites rely typically on monolithic applications and runtime rendered pages, which slow performance and increase complexity. Jamstack replaces these with pre-rendered pages for faster delivery and better SEO, CDN-based deployment for global reach and instant scalability, and decoupled architecture for modular components that enable flexibility and easy updates. This modernized approach allows us to create a fast, high-performing website for WRI 2024, ensuring frictionless registration and higher attendee engagement. Major companies use Jamstack. Many industry leaders leverage Jamstack to maximize their digital presence. Jamstack is the foundation of my Lightspeed philosophy, prioritizing speed, reliability, and flexibility using modern, secure web development technology. I then work with my clients to deploy these composable sites and microservices to a fast edge/CDN globally, which makes it effortless for their users, and it really pays off. Now let's take a look at the WRI 2024 case study. First, let me back up just a moment and set the stage. WRI stands for Wheel-Rail Interaction, which is a rail engineering focused conference bringing together professionals from rolling stock, track operations, suppliers, and researchers. It's just an amazing community. The event was started 30 years ago by Gordon Baczynski, who is the president of WRI Seminars. He's an amazing engineer that has a knack for bringing in the big players in the industry to speak at WRI, and was really instrumental in breaking down massive silos that prevented open sharing of engineering information by the big players in the industry. I got to know this audience after attending WRI 2023 in Minnesota, and that led us later in a design direction to visualize that sense of community by including pictures of real attendees and presenters all chatting with each other. So potentially registrants can imagine joining that network. We envisioned a new website for WRI because the website was really showing its age. When I became a part of the team, I realized that because it was so slow and so visually outdated, I knew we had a good opportunity to significantly improve their online presence and boost revenue for the conference. The team and I brainstormed together to develop a number of goals. These included, of course, promoting and selling the WRI conference more effectively with improved usability and branding. We also wanted to improve the UX, or user experience, and make the registration process much more user-friendly. We also wanted to implement a content management system, or CMS, to enable editors to go in and directly edit content on the web browser. We wanted a platform that would support annual replication and archiving through a clonable code base. And we also talked about improving the visuals, streamlining the navigation, adding a partner company to the main interface called Interface Journal, and also creating clear calls to action for selling sponsorships, just as one example. Ultimately, the project was about meeting business requirements and operating within a defined budget. We made sure this redesign wasn't just a pretty facelift, though. We addressed some, serious concerns, such as, improving user satisfaction, improving the SEO rankings, and having better means of organically discovering the conference. We also wanted to create a code base using a composable architecture that provides us with flexibility and the ability to easily add elements over time and improve the website, as we had budget to do so. We also enhanced the security and minimize legal exposure on the website. And then, as I mentioned, we wanted to provide that editor access to crucial content without having to rely on me or other developers. All the while, keeping the project cost-effective and the assets maintainable well into the future to have the best possible ROI. Next, a little bit about my process and how we tackle the project. I always start with a user journey mapping where I analyze site traffic from Google Analytics to see where people drop off and how they navigated through the site. Next, we created wireframes for the pages and defined all the major building blocks of the site. And by the way, I managed this project on Notion and involved the relevant team members there for input and feedback, which could be done at any time. Next, it was important that we build on the existing brand while also improving it. We designed the site pages in Adobe XD using elements from the past, but also improving on them for current best practices. For example, we expanded the color range, improved graphical elements, and standardized things like fonts. From the wireframes, we can then begin coding the components or the building blocks that will make up the site. I like to start, if possible, from template components, just simply to save time. And then I begin to build out the site and put polishing touches on it, like hover effects and animations. Here's an example of the introduction section for the WRI 2024 conference. And as I built the site out, I use a bit of an iterative approach to provide some flexibility in fine-tuning the design of the pages. Here's an example of the homepage banner, hero image, and color-coded icons that represent each of the 3 seminars within the event. WRI was developed using Next.js technology. So I built page templates, got feedback, and then polished each section as we went. This cycle repeated until we had a cohesive, user-friendly final product. Here are some of the other sections I'll quickly flip through. We had a focus topic component, feature speaker component, bios and abstracts grid, package pricing for on-site and also virtual attendees. We had a sponsor marquee that was animated. And we also had an Interface Journal RSS feed. Here's the info zone and the sponsors. I encourage you to go take a look at the website or the 2025 versions, which we were able to clone, and then partially customize, saving a substantial amount of time and resources. This project required about 60 days. It was what I would consider a medium to large size project. What's really interesting about this project, though, are the key integrations. What powers the website functionality are some important tools under the hood, and these are independent services that we interact with through APIs or embeds. The first is CVENT. This service manages WRI's complex multi-tiered registration system. We use a combination of website embeds and links to special pages like sponsor registration. They also have some nice event management services. Here's an example of what the first page of the event registration looks like. We have several paths for different audiences. Next is Storyblok, a user-friendly CMS or content management system for quick updates to speaker bios, abstracts, and schedules. It's really an editor's dream due to providing a simple interface for non-technical folks to be able to go in and change important information on the website themselves. In our case, that was the speaker bios, pictures, and abstracts. The system is really easy to integrate, and it works well to deliver high Google Lighthouse scores. It's used by literally thousands of businesses across the web. Here's an example of what the backend interface looks like for speaker bios. Finally, we chose Plausible Analytics to capture traffic data. Unlike Google Analytics, Plausible delivers privacy-friendly performance metrics, no intrusive cookies needed. I've set it up to deliver weekly and monthly performance reports automatically to the team. These integrations are all about making the site modular and fast, which are two key components of Jamstack. We also use GitHub as the code base repository, and we manage the site with version control using Git. And the final part of the package is that the repository is pushed to Netlify, the service that serves as our edge host. And this means that copies of the website are distributed around the globe for near instantaneous serving of the site to literally anyone in the world. In addition, each change to the code base, once approved, is pushed to GitHub, and then Netlify automatically detects the change and rebuilds and redeploys the site automatically, saving time again and cutting costs down. Probably the best way to showcase the benefits of the Jamstack approach are to look at the Google Lighthouse scores we have for the site. You can see here we have a 94 for performance, 96 for accessibility, and 100s for best practices in SEO. We could achieve 100s across the board, but in some instances, we ignore Google's recommendations in favor of having larger images or using the colors that we want to use. These scores, while not perfect, were a huge improvement over the previous scores. Jamstack technology, such as the React library, along with Next.js for server-side rendering and Tailwind CSS for a coherent utility styling service, help us achieve these scores. And of course, Netlify helps us with lightspeed page delivery and scaling to meet any traffic burst, which is common after sending emails. Jamstack improves ROI in a number of ways. First, enhanced performance. Websites that load quickly retain visitors longer, reduce bounce rates, and encourage more extensive interaction with content, directly contributing to higher conversion rates. Second, higher visibility. Faster websites are favored by search engines, leading to higher rankings and search results, crucial to driving more organic traffic and improving conversions and revenue. Third is low to no cost CDN hosting. WRI has the benefit of high-speed edge hosting on a free tier and no databases to hack for less maintenance. Less expensive to operate. A secure Jamstack setup has few moving parts, thereby minimizing maintenance and near zero exposure to being hacked or ransomed. Finally, we have the case study summary and final results. Here's where the rubber meets the rail, so to speak. We present the attendance numbers before and after the redesign. Overall traffic, plus 12%, conversions, plus 22.5%, and conference attendance, plus 30%. We even break it down by each seminar category, showing real, tangible success. What's next for WRI? The conference was so successful, my client decided to split it into two conferences, one for heavy haul engineers and one for rail transit engineers. I'm excited to continue to be working with them as we have a maintenance agreement where I assist with cloning the database, cloning the code base, cloning the event in CVENT, and also cloning the CMS for the future conferences each year. We also make additions to the site each year. We're continuing to improve that code base by adding new components such as a new sponsor sign-up page tied in with CVENT registration software so that sponsors can not only pay for their sponsor package, but register complimentary attendees according to the rules that we set up in CVENT. Lastly, here's a nice note from Gordon Baczynski, WRS president, which underscores how happy they were with the results. I also want to mention that in addition to building Jamstack websites and applications, I provide AI image and video creation and management. And I have years of expertise in AI image and video creation using the latest prompt creation tools, as well as proficiency with apps like Midjourney, ChatGPT, Kling, Pika, and the Adobe Creative Suite. I'm an expert at analytics and hold several Google certifications. However, I advocate privacy-first data collection and reporting. Therefore, I recommend Plausible Analytics for cookie-free, privacy-friendly performance data with weekly, monthly, or annual reports and analysis. I can also help with email marketing. For years, I've honed my skills at email design and list management. I provide annual cleansing of email lists for list health, as well as HTML design of promotional emails and email templates. Finally, I can help build brands through social media. The ultimate goal here really is to build a community of advocates. Staying involved in social media not only promotes your brand, but steady, continued engagement that build a community of followers and ultimately brand advocates for you. And that wraps up the overview of how I helped WRI 2024 by combining a modern tech stack with thoughtful UX and robust third-party integrations. We created a light-speed site that broke attendance records. I'd love to see how I can do the same thing for your team's event. Thanks and enjoy your day.